New York's recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I come before the House today to express support and ask my colleagues to support our legislation, H.R. 2847, the Improving Services for Older Youth in Foster Care Act. I would also like to acknowledge and thank the co-sponsors of this legislation, the gentlelady from California, Ms. Bass, the gentleman from New York, Mr. Reed, the gentleman from Illinois, Mr. Davis, the lady from Michigan, Ms. Lawrence, and the gentleman from Pennsylvania, Mr. Cartwright. Our legislation is designed to help support older foster youth as they transition into adulthood by making limited but much-needed changes to the John H. Chafee Foster Care Independence Program. While the Chafee program has largely enhanced outcomes for former foster youth, there is still room for improvement. Of the individuals who age out of foster care, nearly 20% will be homeless after 18, only half will be employed at age 24, and less than 3% will earn a college degree. This legislation seeks to improve on those results. If enacted, our legislation would support the education of foster youth who leave care by extending the age of eligibility for education and training vouchers up to the age of 26. By changing the eligibility, we can help improve employment outcomes and job opportunities for older youth as they leave the system. Additionally, this legislation will help youth who age out to maintain benefits by ensuring that they are provided with the necessary documentation that proves they were previously in foster care. Finally, our legislation would extend the financial, housing, counseling, employment, and other services for foster care youth. Currently, support services are only available to youth between the ages of 18 and 21. Under this legislation, states would be able to extend coverage for up to the age of 23. Mr. Speaker, I'd also like to note that this legislation is supported by many organizations throughout the nation, including the Alliance for Children's Rights, the American Academy of Pediatrics, the American Congress of Obstetricians and Gynecologists, the California State Association of Counties, the Child Welfare League of America, Children Now, County Welfare Directors Association of California, the L.A. County Department of Children and Family Services, the March of Dimes, and the National Association of Pediatric Nurse Practitioners. I encourage my colleagues to support this bipartisan legislation so that we can help improve outcomes for some of our nation's most vulnerable individuals. Mr. Speaker, I yield back.
Gentleman yields back.